Hello again, YouTube. My name is Bree, and in today's video, I wanted to do something a little bit different for you. This year, I started this 5-year Hobonichi Techo, and this is basically a planner / memory book where I decided that I wanted to sketch a memory every day for, I guess, 5 years. So this is a slightly ambitious project, and honestly, now that I'm at the end of year 1, I'm just really impressed with myself for keeping up with this so far. So I thought I would flip through it today and show you what I've done. I'll probably film this in 2 parts because I'm going to be exhausted. But yeah, also I haven't finished it yet because it's currently only the 30th and I have 2 more days left. So this is a notebook made by Hobonichi. They are a planner company in Japan, and they basically focus on high quality planners made with Tomoe River paper, which is a very thin paper. It's about 52 GSM, and it's made for fountain pens, and I use fountain pens a lot, so little 2 example ones right here, and it really shows the quality of the ink, whether it's shimmer, sheening, multi-chroma. This paper is gorgeous for that. It's not the best for watercolor, which is what I'm using in it, but it does work because it's meant to repel the ink so that those qualities showcase beautifully. It's a little weird for watercolor. This sticker is from Audra Auclair. The sticker on the back was one my friend Amber sent me. I'm not sure. I think it was just one of those random packs, and I can't attribute it to any particular artist. I'm sorry if that was off frame. And then this planner is basically set up where each day has 5 slots, one for each day of one for each year, and you can put memories in it or to-do list however you want. So like I said, I sketch something every day, and it's not going to be my best quality work because yeah, it's a daily thing. So before I get too far into this, I do want to point out a couple things. I will be censoring certain things, so if you see black boxes or however I end up doing it, it might be medical information, it might be financial information, it might be people's names or locations, because this is a memory book, and I'm doing my best to respect the privacy of all my friends and family because they are part of these memories. The other thing I do want to mention going into this, a little content warning. If you weren't here or you don't recall, I did lose my cat early in 2023, and I lost a friend as well. So there's going to be references to the passing of pet and people, and it'll only be in the first part of this video. So if you're sensitive to that, if you've lost anyone recently, I am so sorry, but I just wanted to make you aware before diving in. So the supplies I used, because I know that's always a topic as well, before I get too far into this, for each one, I basically sketched with pencil and then went over it with Copic Multiliner or Micron. So I used the Copic Multiliner SP and the just colored ones. So those will feature pretty heavily. I already mentioned my fountain pens. I think I'm unintentionally putting everything off screen. Aesthetics are hard. And then whatever watercolor happened to be on the table at any given point in time. For most of the month of December, I'm using this little palette just because it's really easy to have on my desk when my desk is covered in stuff for 2 planners for getting through 2023 and starting in 2024, transferring appointments, Christmas stuff. It's just been a little chaotic on my desk, so the little guy's been the best, and this was a gift from Spoff. And the paint is, I think this one is Daniel Smith and Core, but really I've used just whatever paint is convenient at the time. So my original plan was to just keep talking and flip through it all in one video, but you know me, I'm too chatty, so that video is getting extremely long, and I decided to go back after I finished the 30th and 31st and flip through the whole thing and just have a chat with you as we went through it. So I have some stats, some really general things. So for each month, I'll tell you how many art pieces I finished, how many books I finished, and major events. And we'll just do it like that. Yeah. So for art in January, I finished 4 pieces and I read 4 books. The major events are obviously my kitty passing away. You'll see a lot of HelloFresh both in January and February because, we needed help. We couldn't really get motivated to cook for ourselves, so we tried a bunch of meals through that. I did a bunch of Conqueror challenges, which are an online race where you sign up for an event and it's so many miles and you track on your own time. And when you finish, you get a medal. So those helped keep me motivated to walk, to move. And then I started studying Italian. So that's in preparation for a trip that later happened in October. And then just some random new paints and stuff like that. I will say that my ratings for books are extremely arbitrary. It's all about kind of how I felt at the time. I don't really rate things online on Goodreads or StoryGraph because I know it's not I never created a concrete rating system. So maybe I read something that's too dark and I'm not in the mood for something dark, so it automatically gets a worse rating. So don't put too much stock into how many stars I gave stuff, and I don't necessarily even agree with it anymore. If you're interested in following my book stuff more, I will see if I can link to StoryGraph or Goodreads below. And yeah, we're in February now. So February was a big artsy month. I had 9 pieces of art. 5 books were finished, and some of the big items were we had a neighborhood cat that would start meeting us on walks and stuff, so that was really cute. We had a big work event. You'll see references to UAT, that's user acceptance testing, and let's just say that was a very, very stressful couple months for work. Then we actually booked that trip to Italy. We decided we were going for sure. I got a desk treadmill so I could continue to move during the workday. I have a standing desk and I do love my desk treadmill. I just need to use it more. I also got a raise, which is always awesome. And my friend Spoff sent me some stuff from Gel Arts. So as you see things that are censored, it's mostly people's names. Most of it's nothing that's secret. It's a first name. So I don't think you would look at a generic name and be like, oh yeah, I know who that person is. There's also people's faces if I tried to draw them, which once again, it's a drawing. It's probably not too bad. I do block out work stuff, even if it's not if I draw a generic screen and it's supposed to look like work, just stuff like that. It's not actually, I wouldn't draw my actual work projects in here. It's just overabundance of paranoia. So for March, let's see, I did 7 pieces of art. I finished 5 books, and some of the events are, once again, a lot more work. And then I had my anniversary. So my husband and I celebrated our 6th anniversary. I'm already mentally in 2024. I met a friend and we had a zoo day, which was awesome because I hadn't seen her in so many years. So I finally met her kids. I'm not really a kid person, but it was great to actually meet her family. And then I got another new fountain pen, which I'd only told myself I could buy 2 fountain pens this year, so I blew past that. And I had some family visits, so my brother-in-law and his wife came to stay with us for a day or 2, and we went to the local wetlands and saw lots of animals. So some of the ATCs and stuff I'm drawing in here that I've received, I didn't know people's internet handles for art, and I didn't want to not give them credit, but I also didn't want to put their first name if they didn't tell me it was okay. So yeah, I feel bad. Maybe I'll make a list below when I figure it all out. And then moving into April, this was a big reading month for me, and apparently a big art month too. I'm not sure offhand what I was doing that made it so big in general, but I completed 12 pieces of art. Some of these are sketches. I was probably doing a challenge at that point to do like all the portraits of people who, aren't white, so that probably factored in. So 12 pieces of art, finished 10 books, and the book thing was because I was doing a reading challenge called Realmathon, and it was a lot. I realized I did a reading event a readathon in both April and May, and I realized I just don't like it. It's not for me. I know for a lot of people it's a lot of fun and they really read a lot more, but for me, I was reading shorter books and just trying to keep up, and I didn't like how people were really trying to game the system, like reading 10 volumes of manga and counting it for major points, where I would be like reading 100 pages of an actual book that day. So then I started trying to read more comics and stuff to keep up, and it made me read a lot, but I didn't enjoy reading as much. So yeah, I don't plan to do any more reading challenges quite like that. But otherwise, I did have a friend who passed away, a friend and coworker. I bought a bunch of poutine stuff to make me feel better. I got this plushie that looks like a French bread poutine, and some poutine shirts, so guilty pleasure. Did a lot of cleaning, getting my little loft area of my home. It's not really a loft, it's just an area at the top of the stairs where I set up kind of a mini art studio. I have my easel up there, which I bought this month, and got the oil paints. So, well, actually, I think I got the easel before I I did sign up for the oil painting course that month. So I was getting all prepped for that, and I did a lot of decluttering. So I was very proud of myself. And then in the month of May, which we're now on, I only completed 3 pieces of art. So, read 10 books, and then this was for readathon. It was Escape the Readathon, which was like a horror theme thing, but it didn't promote really horror themed books, so it was kind of a weird one. I finally beat God of War Ragnarok, which I've been playing for like 6 months at this point, very, very slowly. And then a lot of stuff for the oil painting course itself. I also, the readathon, I expected to motivate me to buy books, and that would be the problem. Instead, this one motivated me to buy coffee. So a lot of people were drinking Bones coffee, and I ordered a sample pack from them and fell in love with them. And I actually like drink coffee now because I like the taste more than just I need the caffeine. So that was a bit of a change this year. I really got into that. They're also a Florida brand, so it's buying coffee locally, but they are expensive, so that's also a problem. And then moving into June, since we're almost there, art pieces, I did 9. A lot of this was for the oil painting class, and then I read 8 books, so still reading a lot, or finishing a lot. I'm not sure how many of those I'd started the month before, even though I wasn't doing the reading challenge. The oil painting class was continuing, so a lot more things related to oil painting. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is up now. I started that. I played about 40 minutes, and I never went back to that game, so I feel really bad about that. We also had a celebration of life for my friend that had passed away. Very delayed, but we were waiting for the family, and the family just never had anything, so we got together on our own. Very, very sad situation. But that event was good. And then I saw Avenue Q with a friend. So that was, if you're not familiar with that, it's a musical that's basically like Sesame Street for adults. I had heard the soundtrack back like when I was in high school, and we were really into it back then. So finally seeing it was just really, really fun. Saw the Spider-Verse movie. So that was probably the second movie I saw this year. I don't watch a lot of movies. And then I hit my 15-year anniversary at work, so I've been at my current place of employment for way too long, and as a gift you get to pick every 5 years, you get a list of things and you could pick a gift from it, and I got an espresso machine, so that was exciting, and I don't use that enough either. I also was house sitting or cat sitting for my parents, so my parents' cat stayed with us, and we paid off our house, so that was huge. And I know that's like a rough subject for a lot of people because a lot of people can't afford homes. So yeah, I'm sorry. I know how bad the economy is and how expensive things are. Hang in there. And then in July, I finished 9 pieces of art, once again, mostly oil painting class, and then read 8 books, or finished 8 books. Some of the events were like, well, the big one, besides finishing the oil painting course, so this year I had subscribed, well, I guess the year before, because it was a Kickstarter, to the Year Sanderson, which was the Brandon Sanderson stuff. I'm really into his books. I know a lot of people don't like them, but they hit a good spot for me. So I'd subscribed to that, and I'd been keeping up. And then I found out he was coming to Tampa, which is about 3 hours away from me. And I had to go, and then Yumi and the Nightmare Painter came out, so I decided to paint fan art and then give it to him at Tampa Bay Comic-Con. So that was, I didn't give myself enough time for that, but it was a very weird thing in general. A lot of driving, a lot of planning for like just a couple hours at a con, but I had fun. And then, just while I was painting, I started just to keep myself motivated, because I'm not used to working that long on a single piece. I'd put on some movies or shows in the background. So I finally watched like just some random stuff on Netflix. And then when I finished up and I had more time to actually focus on TV, I started watching The Bear, which I really loved. It was a great show. So moving into August, I only completed 3 art pieces. I guess I was a little burnt out from the oils course, and I read 6 books. Now I have my events list in front of me, and I can't read my handwriting. It was really hot. I think I had some day where like the heat index was 116. It's in here, and I was completely unmotivated. I watched Good Omens season 2, and I really liked that as well. Some good TV the past couple months. I got a new pen. This was my Pelikan M605 Black Tortoiseshell. I'd gotten it on an insane sale. I really want that pen, and I saw it. I don't remember if it was like half off or something, and I got it. But then it fell out of stock because of that sale, and I was still able to get it, but I had to wait like 6 months for it. So yeah, it was a celebratory thing when it finally arrived. I was starting to get suspicious that it would never come. And then I got a new phone. There's my insurance. Trying to fight Florida home insurance was insane this year. But my phone was maybe only 3-4 years old. Wasn't really having too many problems, was just starting to slow down, and randomly, like, I would have trouble taking my phone off of mute in time to respond in a meeting, so it was disrupting the flow of meetings. I'd have to keep the screen on. So I saw that they were giving the flip phones away for free if you traded in. My phone was a candidate, so yeah, I got the little Samsung Galaxy Flip. And already getting towards September, so another month where I only did 3 pieces of art. I finished 9 books, so you could see where I was spending my time. And in terms of events, September 1st is a day that Hobonichi, the company that makes this planner and my other planners I use, launches their stuff for the next year. So I had my Hobonichi order and my Hobonichi haul. I was very excited. I really into planner times, so yeah. And then I talked with friends who go to Dragon Con every year and committed to going next year. I've been wanting to go to that one for years. That's a big convention up in Atlanta, and I've never been, so that's going to be really exciting. A little group of 4 of us, I guess. And then later in the month, I fell down into a pit that is Baldur's Gate 3, so that appears randomly throughout the rest of this planner. I also attended my parents' 40th anniversary party, so that was really sweet. Got my flu and COVID jabs at 2 different times, so I had a couple weekends where I wasn't really feeling like, well, flu jab isn't too bad for me, just a little sore, but the COVID one knocks me out for a few days, so yeah. And then for ATCs, I don't talk a lot about the ATCs, but there was one that I worked on this month I put way too much effort into, and it's probably like my favorite art piece of the year, just because I I put a lot into it. And the themes were spice and elf, and I had been joking that it was spicy elf. So some people did take that approach, and I ended up drawing like he was censored. He had a leaf, but a naked elf like cooking pancakes in the kitchen. There he is. And I did it in gouache and then sealed it, and then I made like cutout clothes for him so you could dress him to choose your own spice level. So he had like a bathrobe, an apron, boxer shorts, a t-shirt, and yeah, that was a really big one for me. I spent way too much time on it, but I had so much fun with it. Probably never do something that involved again. Cutting out ATC, which is like 2.5 by 3.5 inches, that size clothing was just, oh my goodness, took forever. And then in October, I created 11 pieces of art. A lot of these were like the start of pieces in the Italy journal that I still haven't finished, so I need to get back to that desperately. I only had time to finish 3 books, and yeah, the big events were Italy, which is coming up now, and also we moved into a new office at work, so there was a lot of packing and moving over and then getting settled into my new environment. So we are actually, because we're in a new building, we are back in the office at least 1 day a week, and yeah, I'm still getting used to that somehow. So yeah, all of the Italy stuff, I didn't have so much time for drawing, so I just took notes to help inform my travel journal as I work through that. That's a more detailed sketchbook, so one of these days I need to get back to it. I had hoped to do it over the Christmas holiday. I have not had any time. Been cleaning, visiting family. It's been productive. So yeah, once again, apologies for all the censor boxes. Sometimes they're just a little big, and sometimes it's because there's stuff underneath it. A lot of people's names, which once again, first names probably not the most troublesome thing, but I don't know. Overabundance of caution. Also, the putting in all those little censor bars took me hours. This is the most time I've ever spent editing a video, and I really am not motivated to do this again, like ever. So, yeah, we're just about at November. So in November, I was getting back in the art groove and starting to work on the Italy journal. So I completed 10 pieces of art. I also read 4 books, or finished 4 books. And for events, it was just a weird month. Like, it just kind of felt like things kept going wrong. So I had... my car battery died like at night in the work parking lot in the rain. It was yucky. Then the rains kept picking up. We had basically a tropical system come through, and my windows started taking in water again at home. So we were trying to get a contractor to come out and redo all the caulking, because the original caulking was the problem. Caulking over it just kept pulling it off again, what was underneath. So that was a very expensive mess, and I was mad at the house for quite some time. Then yeah, I had Thanksgiving with my family. We actually did that early this year so we could all be together. And then my friend asked me kind of like last minute if I wanted to go see Pink in concert, and I uncharacteristically agreed like immediately. So I'm not used to going out and doing things anymore, but yeah, that's a terrible drawing of Pink, but it was a great show. I really enjoyed it. My first real concert. Wow, it took way too long. So yeah, and then I'll just go ahead and start in December. December was not a good art month. I've been so busy, so I've only created 2 pieces of art, and I also have some things I didn't finish. So I don't know, there's stuff sitting around everywhere, and it's upsetting me. I did read 6 books. Some of those, I should point out, when I say finished books, sometimes it's audiobooks, which I'll listen to while commuting to my parents' house or to work, so that helps up my numbers quite a bit. I tend to listen to some shorter books to make rides go faster. And then yeah, events. So every day for the first 24 days, you're seeing a little jam jar. We did a bon maman, and I'm sorry for butchering French, advent calendar. So we got a different jam every day. So that was a lot of fun. And then we did just a lot more chores and home maintenance and all that really tedious, boring stuff. We went to a hockey game, my first hockey game, so that was exciting. I've always wanted to see a hockey game live. It wasn't a professional, it was like a semi-pro game, but it was a lot of fun. And they did the teddy bear toss for Christmas, so we had fun. I saw the Nutcracker with the same friend who got me to go to Pink, so she is getting me out of the house. Good for her. I beat Baldur's Gate 3 and Disco Elysium, so finally beaten some games. It's been a while. Disco Elysium, I've been playing with a friend online for like an hour or two a week for months, so that we finally beat it. And then I forgot to do a little doodle for it because I was trying to rush to get the video done, and I went back after the fact and gave him a little doodle. Then my neighborhood has a golf cart parade every year, so we got to watch the little golf carts that were all decorated. So, like, the one in the next page will be as a train, so that was super cute. Went to my parents' house for Christmas for a couple days, and then I went back later to get my hair cut. And yeah, we bought a new TV, so TV isn't here yet, but I'll finally have a TV where, I don't know, I'll be able to read the words in video games, because my TV is 14 years old and only 40 something inches. So yeah, that is basically my year in total. I hope you like this. I don't know if I'll do this again next year because all the censoring took a million years and I probably missed stuff. So I hope you're all having a wonderful start to 2024. And yeah, next week or in 2 weeks, I'll be back with a normal art video. Otherwise, take care of yourselves. And yeah, welcome to New Year. There's my Disco Elysium doodle I forgot. All right, bye.